Hi there, my name is Chris Colby from GC Property Group, and today I want to talk to you about some new electrical safety standards that new private landlords are going to have to adhere to. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel and like and share this video for me to keep putting out more content. So did you know there was a new set of electrical safety standards that went live on the 1st of June that means that all private landlords renting out property need to make sure that the electrical systems in the properties meet this certain standard. So as of the 1st of June, this regulation was in place. However, it wasn't until the 1st of July that it became valid for new tenancies to have to meet this agreement. Also, the way it's been set up is that any tenancy that started on the 1st of April 2020 also needs to meet this agreement, presumably because the industry has known this regulation has been going on for some time now. So how do you meet this regulation? So each time you start a new tenancy, it will be a requirement for you to get an electrical safety inspection certificate. For the purpose of this regulation, the report will be called an Electrical Inspection Condition Report, or EICR. These EICR inspections typically cost from about £120. Now that is £120 from a small one-bedroom flat or house. So look to add about £20 to £30 for each additional bedroom in that house. So if it's a three-bedroom house, you could be talking more along the lines of around £170, £180. We do love regulation in today's society, but I do think it's actually a really, really good thing, as there are some sort of more rogue landlords that will provide really, really dodgy electrical additions and repairs to their property. So think of this really as an MOT for the electrical components of your property. Now, failure to comply with this new regulation could mean fines of up to £30,000. So that's something that is really, really, really worth paying attention to, because that could completely wipe out the profitability of a property for years. So it's worth doing it right in the first instance. This report can be done by most qualified electricians. However, if you visit the government advice, I'll put the link in the description below, that will give you a better idea of what particular qualification an electrician needs to have to be able to do this. So this electrical inspection condition report will be carried out on the property, and it will either come back as completely clear, or there will be three classifications that will be provided for the safety of the works, the electrical installation in the property. So they are category C1, C2 or C3. So if a C1 category is identified in the property, that means there is something dangerous and it needs to be rectified immediately to make safe for that tenant. So such examples of C1s could be that there is an exposed live wire that at a touch could electrocute someone. So these are very, very serious and need to be dealt with immediately. Think of an MOT. If you've got something serious, such as your brakes weren't working properly, you'd get it sorted immediately. A category C2 means that there is particularly high risk of something, becoming dangerous. So I don't know what examples there could be of that. It might be that, for example, that there is a bad connection of some sort that is overheating and could cause something to fuse, and maybe an electrical fire. Forgive me, I'm not an electrician, but it is something that really, really does need attention and it needs rectifying. So if you get a C1 or a C2 category identified on your inspection, you are obligated to rectify those issues within 28 days of that inspection. If you don't, the local authority will probably come knocking on your door as to find out why you haven't done that work. So it could be that actually you've been trying to do that work, but the tenant hasn't allowed you access. Of which case, make sure you keep audit trails of what you've been doing so you can prove that to the council if you need to. Now, if you get a category C3 on the report, these are sort of recommendations and ways that you can improve the property. So think of these as advisories on your MOT. So you may look at it and actually think, do you know what, I don't need to do that. But it could be that it's something to do just to make sure it is that little bit safer. So for example, if you were to have an electrical fire start in the property and the tenants were to say get an injury or something, if the source of that could be traced back to an advisory you received and you didn't action it, it could come back to you. I mean, there's no case law onto this, so don't hold me on it, but it could very well find its way back to you to say you were warned about it as the landlord and did nothing about it. So it really is just weighing up the pros and cons, maybe to talk to your qualified electrician on the risk level for that. So you have your electrical inspection condition report completed. You've done any advisories that you need to do, or it was absolutely fine in the first place. So a tenant or a prospective tenant has the right to request this certificate from you, and you are obligated under new regulation to provide this ticket within 28 days. Also, the local authority may ask you for a copy of this inspection report, and you are obligated to provide that to them within 7 days. Now, I haven't been able to find any information to say that if you don't provide it in 7 days, there is a particular fee or anything. But I suspect as the regulation rolls on, that will become a little bit clearer. So do you have any new tenancies starting very, very shortly? If so, make sure you speak to your qualified electrician to make sure that they provide this EICR. That's the Electrical Inspection Condition Report. And make sure whatever they're doing meets the new electrical wiring certification, which is on edition 18 now, I believe. So previously it was working to edition 17. So as long as they do that, then you should remain compliant. If you have any further questions, please drop them in the comments box. Like and subscribe to my channel. And also, if you are an electrician and have carried some of these out, please make sure you comment on this video and provide any thoughts on what you found out so far doing these reports. Anyway, thanks very much. I hope this has been helpful. Speak soon.